What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We're going to NFL Week 8. We have a passing of the torch game this week and some major league injuries you need to know about, all in today's video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's go! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the compound. Connor, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Week 8. Fantasy football. Week 7 was a little bit of a doozy.
Yeah.
I will say. A lot of injuries.
Week of injuries, yeah.
A lot of injuries. Some maybe upsets, big upsets. I'll say passing of the torch, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Some interesting games.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Week 7 overall?
Well, my entire fantasy team got hurt.
Yes, it did.
So I sort of took a backseat to Week 7. You know?
We won't talk. We'll move on. Move on.
Yeah.
Week 8 kicks us off Thursday Night Football. Lamar Jackson versus TB12.
Yeah.
Yo, Lamar has more rushing yards than passing Tom Brady yards. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean,
What do you think?
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Godwin's not really being used. Evans can't catch balls out on an island by himself. So who knows? I mean, Lamar's probably good for 100 to 150 here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mark Andrews also last week had no catches.
Yeah,
Are you concerned?
I don't think yet.
Okay.
I think if there's another week of low targets to him, I'm probably concerned. But
Okay.
I think that was probably just a fluke. That's the side that I go on.
Now, Brady, it's clear it's not the same Brady we grew up watching.
Yeah.
It is a very disconnected Brady and team.
Yeah.
Just watching. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I wish he just stayed out of retirement. I really did. You know, he could turn it back. Obviously, it's TB, but it's tough to watch the Bucs this year right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's he looks like he doesn't really have the team at all anymore. I think for, you know, his entire career, he was used to people wanting to be around him, to play with him. It sort of looks like this year he doesn't have the team's spirit. He definitely lost the locker room somewhere. It's also another important thing to remember is that, like, Brady retired and Arians took a step out. Todd Bowles took over as head coach. I know Arians came back as like a special assistant, but
Right.
but it's still Todd's team at the end of the day. So I don't know how much that coaching change made a difference. I mean, you went from a quarterback whisperer to a defensive coordinator, so that could also play a big factor here. But I don't know, man. I think the Bucs have now gone on back-to-back losses to the Steelers, Kenny Pickett / Mitch Trubisky, and PJ Walker and the Panthers. That losing streak should continue against Lamar. And I think Tom Brady's going to get a little progressively worse as the season goes on.
It's going to be an interesting Thursday night game. The last couple Thursday night games have been real rough. Real rough.
Yeah.
This does have potential to be good, to have some fireworks in it.
It does.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a must-win game for the Buccaneers. They're 3-4 right now.
Yeah.
They're underdogs, -1, well, +1.5 they will be.
Yeah.
Right now we're shooting this early in the week. So
Yep.
we'll see what happens there, but I'm hopeful we see a good game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I know, you know, I saw a thing earlier, ESPN's Secret Squirrel and Field Yates posed a question of if they should be worried about Fournette. I don't think Fournette's season's dependent on Tom Brady. I think Fournette will probably still continue to flourish. So that's where I disagree with where analysts are at. But I think we got a good game coming up. I think Tom Brady's wheels are officially coming off.
I agree there. Now we have another London game. So this
Who are you taking? You taking Ravens, right?
For Ravens Bucks?
Yeah. Or do you think it's like a low scoring, close enough game that you don't know?
I don't want to bet against Brady.
Gotcha.
I think when Brady's back against the wall, he wins.
Sure.
So I think this is he can't be 3-5.
True.
He can be 500 ball right now though.
Yeah.
So I think they win. I think it's an ugly game, but I think this is a game that they actually do win.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Going Ravens big
for touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've said this will be my fourth week in a row now that I've stopped the Lamar doubt. I'm just gonna keep going with it.
Go with it.
Yeah, just gonna keep going with
Go with it.
Ravens all day.
All right. So we have bye weeks.
Yeah.
2 games only because we have a London game.
Yep.
The London game.
Germany game.
Germany. Yeah, you're
game.
right. It
Yeah.
is Germany.
Guten Tag.
Use him.
Yeah.
Use me. Broncos versus Jags, 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Not sure if Russell's going to be there. I know he's banged up, so not sure if he's playing. The Jaguars trade James Robinson away, so Travis Etienne is pretty much there for the bulk of the running game, which
Lone
is going to
wolf.
be really interesting.
Yep.
So what do you see here besides Travis Etienne? Do you see anything else that you're catch your eyes on for some of the fantasy football tricks that we like to talk about?
No, I mean, no. Honestly, I think that the Broncos' backfield situation is still sort of a mess now that Latavius Murray got inserted into it and is consistently decent. So there's no clear backfield winner there.
Nope.
If Simeon starts over Trevor Simeon's the Trevor Simeon, yeah. If Simeon starts over Wilson,
good luck to all the wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's got to pick one to lean on.
Right.
My guess is that it's going to be Jerry Jeudy.
Hasn't been though.
Be my guess. I know.
Just horrible. I think it was a tight end. One of their tight ends. I think.
Yeah, it has been.
When he stepped up.
But I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like if he's gonna push it outside, I don't know. It's not KJ Hamler. Could be Sutton. I don't think it's gonna be. So I don't know. I think Etienne's the guy here. I think Kirk is maybe the guy on the other side of the football. Evan Ingram, who we talked about last week.
A lot of targets every game.
I think he's a guy that you're going to want to keep your eye on. I feel like Etienne's going to be a workhorse. I think he's going to show off. I think they wanted to make sure he was healthy before they gave him the entire workload.
Yeah,
so.
The only thing I see here is to keep an eye out for. If Wilson does not play, that potentially means a lot of quick series for the Broncos, which would mean a lot of running plays for the Jags, a.k.a. Travis Etienne getting probably a value increase boost.
Just on game script alone.
Just on game script alone. So I'm assuming he's going to be pretty high. I think he was ranked almost out of top. No, he was out of top 10. I think he was a 13th overall. Yep. So most leagues, I guess, are not going to have him at a crazy price tag, but I think the value's there. For that Sunday morning Germany.
Who you taking?
Game at 9:30. I'm taking Jags.
I'm taking Jags as well.
-2.5 for Jags. I just think Broncos are a complete mess.
I'm going to parlay.
Ooh!
I'm going to take the Jags. I'm also going to take that Nathaniel Hackett, coach of the Broncos, doesn't come home with the team.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Was it his fault or is it Russell's fault?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yes to both.
Yes to both. Yeah.
Right. I'll give you that.
And you can't fire Russell Wilson. He makes too much money. So.
You can't. All right, let's jump over to the Sunday games. Let's just start. I want to start off with the PA rival game.
We've got two state battles this week.
We do.
Actually. Yeah.
We do. But we're from PA.
We are.
It's our team's gone. So let's just start out with the in-house. Your boys Steelers against my undefeated Eagles.
Yeah.
Do we stay undefeated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that your good, solid defense doesn't slow down your boy Hurts? No.
I don't think there's any chance.
Wow.
Yeah,
no chance. I like hearing that. Wow, the line, first time seeing the line here, actually, -11 Philly.
Yeah.
I don't like that as an Eagle fan, I'm telling you that much.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
I don't think they're going to cover that.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think it's so either.
But I don't think the Steelers are going to win. I mean, it's did they slow down Brady? They did. It was a great defensive game. Did they really contain Miami? They did a little bit. And enough. I mean,
enough. That's the word.
Miami should have come out and probably dropped 42 points on them. They didn't. And really, the Steelers lost on a mistake by Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Just trying to force the ball in.
True.
So if that interception doesn't happen, the Steelers probably win that game.
That's true.
Do I think those are two very different tier opponents again, versus the Eagles? For sure I do. I think the Eagles are a multi-headed monster on both sides of the ball. And I think the Steelers on both sides of the ball are not going to be prepared to deal with it.
Do you think Philly tries to stick with the run game or passing game in this situation here?
It's their choice. It's like dealer's choice.
What would you do going against Steelers defense?
Going against the Steelers defense, I would probably continue to throw the ball as much as possible. Yeah.
Interesting. With Minka flying around back there,
he's the only one.
I'm
not gonna say he's the only one because it's unfair to the guys who are stepping up against Brady and Tua, who have been playing well. But I think the Eagles are a different type of monster in football. Jalen Hurts can throw. He can run. Miles Sanders can run. Kenneth Gainwell can catch. They've got two very strong. They have a very strong receiver in AJ Brown, a very small, fast receiver in Devonta Smith. So I don't know.
Loaded on all fronts. Loaded all.
Yeah,
fronts
I think it's a really scary matchup for the Steelers.
I'm really excited to watch that game. That's actually going to be a 1:00 game, so we'll be hey, maybe we'll fly to a recent location or something like that, or
somewhere
in the middle.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And
Yeah,
we'll,
maybe watch that game together.
We'll have to do some side bets or something.
I am going to say here, if you're going to look for a Steelers player, look for Freiermuth. Freiermuth is probably going to continue to perform.
He continued to perform is the key to it, because he has been. He's getting the looks, he's getting the targets at least. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, and another thing, I thought Najee's injury was starting to clear up. I don't think it is.
He fell like 23rd. Heartbeat last week, like real low.
Yeah, he's got a Liz Frank injury that, like, he had a block in his cleat for a while. They were using to keep his foot elevated. They took it out. I thought he was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Looks like he might still need a little bit of support. So Freiermuth, I think, is the guy. Chase Claypool is frustrated, although Steelers fans are frustrated with Chase Claypool. But there, I mean, all the receivers are asking for go balls.
Right. I've seen that. Just run the routes. That's it. I've seen the quote. Just run the routes.
Yeah,
run the routes.
I mean, if they get them, Claypool probably is the guy. Deontay Johnson's having hands problems, so
which is interesting for fans for the daily fantasy leagues.
Yeah,
maybe take a Claypool because they're gonna be dirt cheap, and just hope that they get one of those goal routes and they hit it, and that's a 12, 16 point play. On a cheap guy. It's an interesting move. It's an interesting move.
It's definitely something I would consider. And then if you're playing standard fantasy, PPR fantasy, whatever, maybe go out and get Claypool because he's a trade target.
Maybe.
And he's a trade target for teams that want to compete.
True.
So might be worth picking up.
It's interesting for sure. All right, let's move on though. Panthers versus the Falcons. I laughed at my notes here. So when you go into the ESPN app and you actually click on, whatever team for the week, and they'll tell you their season leaders and passing, rushing, and wide receiver. Panthers just had Baker there.
Yep.
Their top running back, gone. Yep. No one's there. Their top wide receiver, gone.
Yep.
Nobody is there. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So
and they won.
I know. But with all that said, though, are the Falcons, do they have more firepower here for this game?
My gut wants to say yes.
Yeah.
My gut wants to say that if you can utilize Drake, London, and Pitts, and Algier and Williams the right way, then you should.
You should.
I'm gonna take the Panthers in this game.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the line is, just for argument's sake, the line is Falcons -4.5. So you're on the underdogs big time.
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna go with the underdogs on the Panthers here. XFL legend PJ Walker. Leading the team. And I think, what the thing is that new coach, you got PJ Walker in, you've got a bunch of guys who were just at this point playing ball.
Mm-hmm.
Chuba, Deontay Foreman, Laviska, all those guys are just playing ball at this point. Next up.
Go get paid.
There's nothing to lose.
No, I've been talking big on Chuba Hubbard for last season.
Yeah.
Last season. He had one game last season where it just clicked. It was like, that's a younger, cheaper CMC.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they playing him?
For sure.
And they traded CMC.
Oklahoma State has two very good, quote-unquote, backup running backs in the league. He's one of them. He's not anymore, though, even though he's sort of having the workload share.
Right.
The other one is Jalen Warren, who plays for the Steelers, who's a backup for Najee Harris. Both very similar type running backs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jalen's just like a little bit smaller and a little bit of a grunt, but I mean, I like them both, and I think Hubbard's got a really bright future in the NFL.
I would be picking him every week in daily fantasy
leagues
until whatever DraftKings, FanDuel, whoever jacks his price up.
I definitely agree.
I'd be picking him a lot because it's just you see a performance by a professional athlete. And it just sticks with you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm big on Tyrese Maxey. I've seen a couple games in his rookie season, and I'm like, he's the guy. He's the guy, and that's just basketball.
Yeah,
we'll get to that another
I feel
day.
the same way about Hubbard. I mean, I really love him as a football player. And I don't know, I got to take the Panthers. They're playing with nothing to lose. The Falcons know that they have pressure on them, and I think the Panthers are just going to pull it out.
I think it's a high-scoring game, though.
I actually agree with that.
I think it's going to be like a very 30 to 30, or, you know what I mean, in the 30s for both teams.
I agree with that.
Let's see it. Let's see some of the young new studs in this league go out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, next game we have Bears versus Cowboys. Dak comes back last week, gets his win. The Bears get a win.
Yeah.
Short week for the Bears, though.
Short week.
Do you think that matters?
I think this is probably the Cowboys show either way this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I sort of said this off camera, Dak got like a little scrimmage against the Lions last week, and he got to be comfortable, and he got to find his rhythm, and he got to reacquaint himself with his receivers. I think now it's against the Bears defense. Well, against really Rock Smith is
That's it. Yeah,
that's really it. Is like a test, and it's time to go out and play football, and it's time to go out and get a win, and it's time to go find CeeDee Lamb 12 to 15 times, and find Gallup and utilize your running back. So I think the Cowboys defense against Justin Fields here too is a pick.
Yeah, I think I think this division for the Cowboys, I think all eyes are on the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I think the Cowboys dominate the Bears this week. -10 they are, but I think they come out in a way that just says, "Hey, don't forget about us."
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The Eagles might be still undefeated after week 8. Might be.
Yeah.
But don't forget about us.
Yeah.
We're only 2 wins behind. Losses behind technically.
I agree with that, and I think the Cowboys as a team is overall. I mean, I think they'll cover.
Yeah.
Though they should.
I think this should be a statement game for
100%.
them. That's how I would be preaching if I was one of the coaches in the locker room. So you need to come out here and shut these people up.
Yeah. Play no Bears.
I would not.
Yeah.
I would not.
Honestly, if you're gonna DFS somebody, find the receiver that Diggs is gonna cover. He's probably going to be the only guy that's going to have the opportunity to get open enough.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah, because if the Cowboys are going to light it up, the Bears have to throw. So I'm staying away from the running backs.
Yeah.
And if there is going to be someone, I would try to find one of the cheaper Bears, figuring that someone has to be open, and they're going to have to throw the ball.
I mean, at this point, Mooney's not expensive.
No,
exactly.
I mean,
and I would think that Diggs is going to play on Mooney, and Diggs is going to be looking for more than one interception this game.
Yeah, for sure. So go Cowboys defense if you guys have leagues with the defense special teams.
Yep.
All right, next game, Dolphins versus Lions. Now here's what interests with the Lions. Before I go anywhere,
we do this every week with them. But always an interesting stat with them.
Yeah, always. And here it is. The last 2 weeks, 0-6. What? Is that because St. Brown's banged up, Swift's banged up? Do 2 guys make that big of a difference? Like this team was scoring 30-40.
I know.
Now they can't break 10.
Yeah. I don't
absolutely insane. So that all being said, is this going to be a high scoring game? Are we going to see the old school Lions or not even old school, earlier season Lions? Or are we just going to see Dolphins swimming to an easy victory?
So here's the thing. If St. Brown plays, St. Brown and Hawkinson, dangerous combo against a defense that will give up yards.
Fun.
I know their backfield's hurt. I don't know what Swift is really looking at for this week.
Listen, there could be something else going on too.
There could be.
He's questionable early every week.
Every week.
And he's out every week.
Yeah. So something's going on there with him. I know Jamal Williams is hurt. So they're also starting to lose pieces.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're Tua and the boys here, the 3 fastest guys in the NFL, you're also looking to make a statement.
For sure.
You almost lost to the Steelers.
You need a big win here.
You need a big win here. And again, Tua sort of got his rhythm back last week. I think we're going to see the Tua that played the Bills and not the Tua that played the Steelers.
Tua needs a couple good games in a row.
Yeah.
But I'm also not playing Tua deep into the 4th if need be.
True.
So I would be preaching, get this game over with early so we can rest in the 4th.
100%. Yeah.
Bills did that a couple times, twice already this year already, where they didn't play the 4th.
Yeah.
So that's what I would preach. Listen, they're hurt. Let's
get up early, get on them early. Yep.
End the game. Yep. End the game by the 3rd. So, which is a little concerning because if that's the case and you have players on the Dolphins, they not play the 4th.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to what the Chiefs did last week and the 49ers. They crushed them early.
Yeah.
Most of their big players even play the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So just be a little cautious because we do have a couple bye weeks and they're big boy teams too. So you might need every quarter here.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Cardinals Vikings. D-Hop is back for the Cardinals. They looked very good last week. Vikings still on top of that division. What are you expecting here from this game?
A Vikings win.
Okay.
similar to the Saints game that the Cardinals played last week, just not in their favor.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my guess here. I think the Cards will continue to score.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very worried about the Cardinals defense against the Vikings. Terrified of the Cardinals defense against the Vikings here. And I don't know how the Cardinals handle James Conner and Eno Benjamin together.
It's a deadly combination.
James Conner's back, and I feel as if they're just going to sort of transition back to him.
They might.
And put Benjamin in a complimentary role, even though the kid's been on a roll.
Great. He's great.
And I don't know that I would do that if I were them.
He's great, but not paying him, though.
They're not. So I know you got to sort of go with Conner here, but
I would run Conner to the ground, knowing that I have Benjamin that could step right in.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
a good
what
point.
I would do.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
And he's more the pass catcher. I mean, James Conner can be your grunt, you know?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm expecting a Vikings win here. Justin Jefferson, I think, will go off.
Who do you have? If you had to pick one, D-Hop or Justin Jefferson?
I got to go Jefferson.
Do you?
Yeah.
D-Hop is like, to me, betting against Brady.
Yeah.
Anytime a guy is getting 14 targets.
Yeah, for sure.
A game. Like, he's just next level to me. He's just next level. We've seen Justin Jefferson get shut down. I've never seen D-Hop get shut down.
Yeah.
Ever.
He's my favorite wide receiver, I think, in the league. But I think Jefferson is just that good, and I don't think the Cardinals have the guy to shut him down.
Okay.
I think Darius Slay, and I'm actually going to give Sauce Gardner the credit. I think those two are the only two guys in the league that can shut Justin Jefferson down consistently enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm actually expecting fireworks here. I'm expecting a high-scoring game. Should be fun for sure. I
think that's the most exciting game of the week.
It has the potential to be.
Yeah.
Listen, I might do a fantasy team with both D-Hop and Justin Jefferson on it just because. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens there. All right, let's move on. What's the we got here? Raiders versus the Saints. Raiders had a big win last week against the Texans, 38-20. And Saints have a couple interesting players there. Kamara doing his thing.
Yeah.
What do you see? Could the Raiders get it done again? The Raiders go two wins in a row?
Probably.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Saints, shout out to the Saints because they're not quitting.
They're not. They are 2-5 for the season. They're underdogs here by 2. Raiders are also 2. They're 2-4.
Against the Cardinals, man, they fought. Jawan Johnson gets a touchdown. They fought. I mean, Dalton played his heart out.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, the Raiders are a very susceptible team. I don't think the Saints are gonna win here. I think it's gonna be a Raiders win, but I think the Saints are gonna put up another big fight.
Raider Nation will be happy to hear that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's move on though. I have nothing really too much to say with that.
I don't either.
Overall. Do you have anything else?
I mean, no. The only thing that I have to say is if you're starting Waller consistently in regular fantasy,
it has to be nerve-wracking.
It's gotta be terrible, and I would just trade him for
at this
anything
point,
that you can get.
I believe he was coming into the season the 4th best tight end, right? I think it was Kelsey, Andrews,
Hawkinson.
Was it Hawkinson?
Hurts, wasn't it?
No, I thought Waller was 4-5.
Oh yeah, Waller was 4.
4-5. Yeah, he was high, and he's not performing that well. You would think with Adams there to take the pressure off, Waller would just be wide open in the middle.
You know, I will continue to say this. There are a few coaches that I will always pick out in football, and Josh McDaniels is one of them. Really good offensive coordinator. It's like one of those things where it's like he's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's a really great offensive coordinator.
All right, let's move on. Pats versus the Jets. There could be a lot of headlines here.
Yeah.
First, you got no Hall for the season. Jets, the potential, and not even the Jets, might be their rookie of the year out for the year.
Yeah.
And Bryce Hall there, rough injury, but they just do bring in James Robinson from Jaguars. I'm assuming to be a backup to Michael Carter, but we'll see how that plans out. And speaking of backup.
I know.
Speaking about backup.
I know.
Listen.
It's crazy that Mac Jones is a backup quarterback.
No, relax. Everyone relax.
Man.
I think
backup quarterback Mac Jones. Can you believe it?
Nope. I can't. I can't. No, listen. There's people on both sides of the fence here. They're saying Zappy. First, he is fun to watch. He's exciting to watch for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's
he's
people
very collected.
He is.
Yeah.
For a rookie, he is playing very well.
He's 100% playing like a person who shouldn't be there.
100%.
Like he's like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Most quarterbacks do in that
Western Kentucky legend.
Most quarterbacks do in that position when they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. And there's no film on them.
Except for Mariota.
So, except for Mariota. So, Mac Jones, I'm on the side of the fence where this is his team. He came into the game already with an injury. I'm sure the conversations in that locker room were, go out there, do the best you can. If you can't perform, we're going to send the rookie in. And that was it.
Yeah.
He's a Bama guy. I don't think he has anything to worry about. I think he's just a right attitude type of guy. And I believe this is still his team. I'm really not too worried about it at all. Kind of reminds me of the Eagles when it was Wentz's team.
Yeah.
But Foles was the spark. Foles got the spark. Everyone wanted Foles. Well, next year we still traded Nick Foles, and it was Wentz's team still.
For sure.
So kind of what I'm looking like here or thinking here is the Patriots could have a nice breath of fresh air, knowing that, cool, we have 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm not worried about it. Let Mac go his course. And listen, if it truthfully doesn't work out with Mac, we got a replacement.
Yeah.
So which side of the fence are you on? Are you saying Mac's totally done? He's not going to play ever again for New England?
No, I think this is a transition year for New England, and I think that they're just going to play the way that they played it the other day, where they're like, hey, what works in this position? Let's figure it out. I think at this point, like, the Dolphins are an extremely good team. Mm-hmm. The Bills are going to the playoffs, pending a collapse. And the Jets
are good.
Are a very, very good football team.
Yeah. They're 5-2.
And their rookies are stepping up. And everyone on that team across the board is stepping up, and I expect James Robinson to do the same when he gets there.
Yeah.
So if you're the Patriots, you know where you land.
Just try out people.
Try out whatever you need to do.
Absolutely. Listen, worst case scenario here, you play both quarterbacks. Listen, I would come in and say, Mac, you got this game. Zappy, you got this game.
Yeah.
And trade one in the offseason. Show that they're both good.
Yeah.
Go for it. That's what the Patriots
show
do anyway.
Equity in those guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, like, I don't know. I think it's the best thing for them to do. If, hey man, Mac, you don't feel that great? Great. Bailey,
no problem.
Get in there. Just get in
there.
there.
You're our guy. Sit. No problem.
And then if Bailey, goes off, great.
Now
you got.
I could trade
equity.
that.
Yeah. So,
I could trade that.
So
now.
I think that I'm not worried about the Patriots narrative.
For sure.
The Patriots live in the basement this year.
They do.
They know it.
And I think they're okay with that.
I think so too. Because they're not making any sort of spark to change it. So I think that they're like, hey, give it a year.
Get some good picks.
Figure it out, get some good picks. And then I think next year, I think they're gonna lie in wait next year. And I think people are gonna go, the Patriots are bad, and then they're gonna come out and be 8-0.
100%.
Yeah.
That team needs a good skilled player.
It does.
You can draft one.
And Ramondre is good.
No, for sure.
Like, so if they can
your running game set.
Yeah, if they can go out and get a wide receiver to help with that. I mean, if they get high enough to get this kid from Tennessee.
And I'm pretty confident. Now, listen, I'm not the biggest college guy here.
Yeah.
I know that. I'll admit to that. But I'm pretty confident there's like a potential tight end that's coming out of this draft that's like top 3 worthy. I'm pretty confident there is. You go draft a big boy tight end that Patriots are used to having.
True. Yeah. That's true.
You have a
when they
game.
inevitably hire Josh McDaniels back to be their offensive coordinator.
There you go. So I'm not panicking.
I'm not panicking here either. The Patriots know what they are this year. They know what they're doing. The Jets know what they are this year, and they know what they're doing. Shout out, props to the Jets. I have not seen the Jets in our lifetime, even when they made the AFC Championship game against the Steelers. I have not seen the Jets have an injury, have a winning team, have an injury, and immediately replace that guy.
Within days.
Yeah.
Like 2 days it was.
Yeah.
And a good dude.
Yeah. So I got to give a shout out to the Jets here, and I think the Jets win this game. I think James Robinson will get very limited use. I think Michael Carter is going to be the guy back there this week so that Robinson can get used to the playbook
Robinson
and stuff.
Was banged up too a little bit.
Yeah. So I think Robinson's going to I think next week is going to be a contributor, and I think they're going to go right back to that split.
Yeah.
But I like a lot. I like the Jets defense here. I like, if you're using IDPs, I like Sauce Gardner.
Go on.
I like Michael Carter.
Yeah. He should do well.
Yeah.
He should do well.
So I
should lean on him a lot.
Yeah. So I got the Jets. I think there's guys deep that you can play here. I like Devontae Parker for the Patriots.
Okay. With quarterback?
Either.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be one of those things that like Devontae Parker is not going to get you 5. He's also not going to get you 30.
That's true.
So if you need a guy who like, if it's a bye week, if Juju's not playing this week, or you had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, go out and get Devontae Parker. He'll probably get you 15 points. Throw him in your flex, or throw him as your wide receiver 3, and just roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed with that decision.
Yeah. All
right, 4 o'clock games. We have 4 of them here. Titans versus Texans. Yeah. You think? I think Henry. My notes here are Henry or Pierce, who's on the more rushing yards. But you are a little bit. You're in the air here.
Yeah, I went to the air for the Titans.
For the Titans.
Specifically. I think that if Tannehill is gonna have his send off, we know Tannehill's not gonna play for the Titans next year.
They drafted Malik Willis.
So if Tannehill's gonna have a send off, make a case for himself, I feel like this is the game that he has to start doing it. And I think this is the defense you can do it against. And I think this is the offense you can do it against.
Very interesting. We do know he has to be feeling the pressure of Malik Willis coming.
The second he got drafted, he did.
So
and he didn't handle it well.
He needs a game.
He does.
And this could be that game.
Yeah.
So it could be the game he does go off, or it could be the game we see Willis in the second half.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to this game because I think Willis is going to show up at some point around week 10 or week 8.
Yeah.
For week 8.
I think if Willis doesn't show up this season, and I'll make this sort of same case for the Falcons, if Ritter doesn't show up this season, weeks 13 through 17, 18, you got to fire your coaches.
You have to.
Yeah.
Why would you draft these quarterbacks? These big name quarterbacks.
You have to put your coaches on the chopping block if they don't play these guys.
Especially these teams with dirt. What are you playing for at this point?
Yeah.
Seriously. What are you playing for?
And that's, and to our point in the previous game, that's the brilliance of Bill Belichick.
No, for sure. Just listen, own it.
Yeah.
And let's just play.
Yeah.
Let's just play.
Yep.
What's wrong with that? I've been saying, remember how we talked about, this is probably one of our earlier podcasts, week 3 or week 2 it might have been.
Okay.
We said I would play halves, especially if you're a bottom team. Cool. So quarterback A, you're playing the first half. Quarterback B, you're playing the second half.
Yeah.
We're not winning our division. We're not in the playoffs. So guess what? No one's gonna hurt. Everyone's gonna play. Earn your value. Let's see what you got.
I don't think, and this is like rude, but I don't think Ryan Tannehill has the mental fortitude to handle that.
No, for sure.
I think Mariota does.
Mariota would.
I think Mariota would have happily done that with Ritter.
Sure.
I think Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi would have happily done that with each other. I think Tannehill would have collapsed.
Now, for respect of the Titans, they are 4-2.
They are.
They are doing well.
They are.
But there's not the fancy. They're not the fancy,
no.
I don't think they're going to make it far in the playoffs, even if they do good in that division.
because you need a quarterback in the playoffs.
Quarterback. So what I would do when matchups like this, why not bring them in?
Yeah.
Why not bring them in?
Yeah.
Try to get up early on teams, play the half. You got to plan for something.
Yeah.
Got to plan for something. All right, Washington, like this team's doing here, versus the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts already announced Sam will be the starting quarterback rest of the way.
Yeah.
Rest of the way.
Yeah.
We're in week 8.
Yeah.
They're giving it crazy.
Yeah.
So do you think this is more of they don't trust Matty Ice anymore, or is it just is Sam just impressing in camp?
So Sam played for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Watched almost his entire college career as a Big 12 fan, as an Oklahoma fan. Really good quarterback. I really hope he's successful. He probably is getting the ball in places that Matt Ryan can't when they're practicing. I also don't know, and shame on me for not like really checking this out, but like I don't know if Ryan's dealing with something injury-wise.
I know he's banged up.
I don't know if there's something lingering. But, again, sort of like going back to this chain of point that we've had, you're not doing terrible, but you're not doing great. Your quarterback play is lacking and could be the reason that you're not doing great.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we've had Sam on this team for 2 years. Let's play him.
Yeah, let's go.
Just do it. And I think, Pats and Colts doing one thing, Falcons doing another.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's sort of the case for that. And even Titans doing another. And, could the Titans wild card? Possibly, but I don't think it's likely. I actually like all of the Colts receivers in this matchup.
I do too. I don't see anything with fancy with Washington. I don't think they stand a chance here, to be honest.
I don't either. I don't either.
Colts are only -3. I think that's just because of Sam, but I think that's they're a better team with him there.
I agree.
I think
with
they're out there rely on the run, which they should be doing anyway. Because you have a guy named Jonathan Taylor on your team, use them, and I think this will open up your outside wide receivers, the slot, because I think they're going to focus on stacking the box.
Yeah.
And saying, let's stop the run, make Sam throw the ball on us, and I think he's going to.
I think he's going to, and I think he's going to be fine with it. And I'd
be happy if I own Pittman.
I'd be happy if I own Campbell.
I would be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean Taylor, happy if I own him. I would not be against starting Mo Alley Cox as a flyer tight end. Because what do young quarterbacks put in these situations?
Should be going to their tight end.
They go to their tight end in the red zone.
Going to their tight end.
So he's a safe target in the red zone.
I agree. I agree. I'm gonna be trying to watch this game closely. These 4:00 games, as you know, we do our box breaks on Sunday, so the end of the games gets a little bit tight for us. So hopefully we get to watch some of it. We might be flying back though from the 1 o'clock.
True.
We might be on our jets, con.
True.
So going back to our point of just letting the rookie or the second year play, the Niners tried doing that earlier with the Trey Lance this year. Niners versus the Rams is the next game we're talking about. He got hurt, obviously. Jimmy G's back there. Boy, dude, they get some firepower. CMC, check this. You got CMC, Kittle, and Debo. What a crazy combo. Now, the Chiefs said, okay, it doesn't matter. Shut them down on their honeymoon. But I think they're going to give the Rams a run for their money. What do you think?
My favorite thing about the CMC trade is after the trade happened, there was a meme that went around that was like, what no-name receiver does Jimmy G find now that he's got all this firepower?
Yeah.
And the first touchdown of the game for the Niners was Ray McCloud, who, love him, he's a former Steeler punt returner.
I know that name, yeah.
But it was just funny.
Yeah,
like he's got all this firepower around him, and he found Ray McCloud, and so
that's where all the eyes are, though. So it makes sense
for sure. And it's just funny. I mean, I think here, this is a division matchup. We know how I feel about those. They could really go either way. What's the line on this game?
-1.5 Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think the Ravens are just a big name right now. I don't think any team's really fearing them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And it's this happens after you win the Super Bowl. I mean, you lose pieces. Cam Akers wants to leave. Yep. OBJ got hurt. He never came back. Like, it's a different team. Yeah. Bobby Trees goes away. Yeah. Allen Robinson doesn't quite fill in the same way, but
somehow
I don't know if that's a Stafford Robinson problem.
Could be. It could be.
They lost some important pieces in their defense.
Yep. They did.
So Christian McCaffrey's probably gonna have a big game.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking I here. I think Kittle has the most fantasy points, even over Kupp. I think he does. I just think I do. I think Kittle has a huge game. He's getting more involved in this offense every single week. If you just look at the targets, they keep going up. Yeah. And with CMC there, you have to respect it.
Yeah,
you have to respect it. So linebackers are going to be frozen that half a second, and Kittle's going to sneak behind them.
Yeah,
that's what I think. It's going to be a lot of play actions. You have to respect CMC. You have to.
Yeah.
So I expect a big game from Kittle. I can't wait to see what Debo's new role is going to be here.
Yeah, I know.
If you were a coach there and you had the decision, what would you do?
Debo wants to be a receiver.
Correct. Well, what would you do?
I would just put him there.
I'd
put him where he wants to be comfortable.
Outside slot.
Yeah. I think. I mean, Antonio Brown. He's Antonio Brown. He's a really good, fast. Not that Antonio Brown wasn't, but he's a very good, fast, strong-legged Antonio Brown. Let him be it.
I would sit down with both CMC and Debo, and I'd say you're both going to run the ball. You're both going to be in the slot.
Yeah, that's fair. You could swap them out.
You're going to be on the same. One's going to line up in an eye back situation.
Yeah.
The other person's going to be in shotgun.
Yeah.
We're going to motion you into the backfield. The other person on the other side.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do. Think about like a 4-3 front.
Yeah.
Right. And you're think about that. Yeah. You're the left side linebacker. Right. Yeah. Cool. I have CMC in the slot. Wait, he's going in motion. Now he's in the backfield. So okay, I have him in the backfield, and Debo goes out to the other side, and he's in the slot. If I'm the If I'm the running back, I'm like, or the linebackers, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and the other thing of that is if you're in shotgun formation, you got a halfback on both sides of you, and you got those two guys sitting next to you, and you got Ayuk and McLeod out there, and Kittle out there. I mean, who do you cover?
Who do you cover?
Yeah.
I would have a sit-down meeting with Debo, mainly Debo, and I would say, listen, we're going to confuse teams. You're going to be so open, it's not going to be funny.
Yeah.
And just play the odds, play the matchups like crazy. Just confuse people.
Yeah.
Remember the one year when Andy Reid was at the Eagles, they went fast. They went they were the fastest team.
Yeah.
I would do that, and I would just audible and change lineups.
If they can adjust to that play calling, yeah. I mean, if it's again, like, I guess it comes back to coaching for me. Like, it's Shanahan. Like, I don't know if he can do it.
I don't think.
I think if you put another coach there, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want a young coach that's like, yo, let's go. Let's go.
If you take like a Cliff Kingsbury, Sean McVay type, Mike Daniels type, 100%, it totally works.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it works with Kyle Shanahan.
I don't think he can.
I think Debo has to move to the slot.
No, for sure.
And I think it has to be.
When they did it,
yeah.
you know,
and I think it has to be CMC and Jeff Wilson Jr. back there if it's going to be anyway.
I would be playing so many games.
It's the best. This goes back to the Matt Canada thing where I'm like, every week I'm like, I could make an offense better than Matt Canada could. Like, you are probably making an offense better than Kyle Shanahan could right now.
I guess. All right. I'll take that.
But next year, man.
Hey, we fly all the time to do this. We can fly to the games. We can fly around the country.
For sure.
We can go across the pond to these London, Germany games and coach. We can do this. Let's make it happen. All right, the last of the 4:00 games, Giants versus Seahawks. Two surprisingly good teams.
Yeah.
I really have nothing to say about these teams besides they're fun to watch. I'm happy for both these teams. That's coming as an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
You know, like, good for Danny Dimes. He did finish really good. Good for Geno. I'm not sure who's going to win this game. Seahawks are -3. I'm happy for both these organizations, for their young players. I just hope it's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go shout out to Kenneth Walker, number one. Metcalf has got a lingering injury. So I'm going to go Giants, I think, based on that alone.
That's fair.
Wan'Dale Robinson looking good, getting a lot of targets. Didn't get a target in the second half of last game, but he got sort of like hit in the groin area. So like, I don't know how much that affected him the rest of the game.
Did.
So I'm expecting sort of him to come back full powered. And the Giants, I don't know, Giants are doing the same thing, man. They're just going out playing ball. Yeah, they're just going out playing ball, man. And Brian, shout out to Brian Dable, man. Like, that coach is unbelievable. So I don't know. I got to go Giants over the Seahawks here, but that's no disrespect to Geno. I think Geno's going to throw for 250 plus.
It's funny, though, the Giants are still not getting any love. They're 6-1 under -3. They're 3 underdogs.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're not getting any respect. The Jets and the Giants are not getting any respect.
Nope.
And they should be.
Nope. All right, here we go. Packers Sunday night going against the Bills. I have this game as the true passing of the torch.
Josh Allen already stole it. Josh Allen has the torch.
Listen, we've been watching Rodgers though for years dominate, and he is just that team. He called out more players this week. He literally said start cutting people.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be an ugly game,
which is not what you want.
No,
if you're the quarterback trying to make I don't get that.
You remember how last year he sat out of camp and then he pretty much sat the whole game versus that Saints. Remember that?
Yep.
I think that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to be like, I don't care. Bench me.
Yeah.
Dare. Go ahead.
I think Rodgers and Brady are in the same bucket right now. I mean, I think Brady's in a little bit of a different bucket. But I don't think Rodgers, there's no one in that offense that likes Aaron Rodgers.
But I don't think Rodgers cares.
He doesn't care.
Brady cares.
Brady does care.
You know?
But Rodgers doesn't care.
No.
And you can't sit there and be like, oh, we'll cut so-and-so and then expect the offense to thrive in the next game. It's just not how the game works. And it's not how it's not how these players work anymore. So Josh Allen's got the torch because Aaron Rodgers threw it away when he made $50 million this year.
Oh, at least Allen caught it.
Yeah, for sure.
No one else is catching anything Rodgers is throwing.
He did. So I don't know. Tanyan will probably score a touchdown.
Maybe. But actually, if there's any player on the Packers to watch out for, it is Sammy Watkins. It's the only wide receiver he really relies on. So maybe a big week from him.
I mean, if they go out and get Chase Claypool, before the week is over, which they could.
That's true.
Maybe. You know, we'll keep an eye on that.
For sure.
But
I think this could be a game where the Bills players are resting in the fourth.
I think so too. Yeah.
So just.
Which is a shame against that Packers defense, man.
Well,
they
it's a shame that's because it's prime time too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sunday Night Football. You know?
Very
I mean,
true.
what are we doing? You know.
Very
I mean,
true.
but hey, we'll be doing our box break though, Connor.
True.
Just another shout out to our
there you go. There you go.
All right, Monday Night Football. Bengals versus the Browns. Connor, do you go air or ground here? Air as in the Bengals with Burrow, or are you going in the running attack with the Browns? Which team are you going with here?
Our second state fair this week.
You're right. It is. It is.
I'm going Bengals.
Okay.
Too
much firepower? Just like a simple way.
Honestly, like I think this is going to be a really high scoring game.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and I start the Bengals defense in fantasy.
Interesting.
But I think that this is going to be a higher scoring game. Just because I think that I think for as many touchdowns as Chase puts up or Higgins puts up or whomever, I think Chubb and Hunt are going to do the same thing.
Both of them. Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have I'm going to go Bengals because I'm a Jamar Chase owner.
Fair.
But I think this is a tough one for me to pick.
-3.5 for the Bengals. I'm just excited to watch the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, say 10 years ago that we're excited for a Bengals
I know.
Browns.
When I was doing all my
Monday
notes
Night
for this
Football.
game, I was like, Bengals, Browns. Like, this is, and I froze. I was like, no, this is going to be a good game.
It's gonna be
Bengals,
good.
Browns.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good game. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that. Now, before we end, we went through the games.
Yeah.
Last week, we did some bold predictions.
We did. We changed it up a little bit too.
We did change it up a little bit. And we did very well.
We did.
We did very well.
We did really well. So instead of we to the tight end position, we did player over player. And then we sort of just like guessed our ranking at some guys. So we did Daniel Jones, that he would be in the top 5 last week. We killed it. He top 3'd last week. Danny Dimes.
That's right.
On a week that Mahomes played incredible.
Damn it.
Top
Dimes played better.
3'd. Top 3'd.
Burrow and Dalton? There's more than that.
Yeah, Burrow and Andy Dalton. Yep.
Go figure.
Yep.
Go figure. So,
so that was one. Wide receiver, we had Hopkins in the top 3. That was me being aggressive because I was so happy he was back. He landed at number 8. So I'm not going to take it as too hard of a loss. Although I did state here last week that he would be number 1.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I was tempering down to top 3.
We
so
brought you back down
brought
to
me back to reality a little bit. And then this brought me back to reality a little bit even more.
Let's put this way though. Hopkins had 14 targets, 10 catches, and one of those drops I'm pretty sure was a touchdown pass. So if he catches that, he's top 3. That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yep.
So we'll take that.
Yeah, so we're one off on that. So I like that. We also chose Evan Ingram over Zach Ertz, which also happened. Even though Ertz had a mediocre game, Ingram had a much better game because of all those targets that he's getting. The only one, and we got absolutely smoked on it.
This one
was running back. We top 3'd Najee Harris. I sort of mentioned earlier, I thought the injury was probably a little bit better. I was wrong. I think he was like 23. Yeah, so we lost that one bad.
That was a rough one.
Yeah, so that one was a big one.
That was a rough one.
But
this week, we're going to do better.
We're back at it again this week.
Quarterbacks, go for it.
Quarterback, Kirk Cousins, man. We're top 5 in him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's 8. I think he's 8 overall.
Yeah.
8 overall right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big guys in front of him, but I think it's going to be a shootout like we talked about earlier. Him and Murray are going to be rolling the ball all over the place, I think.
Yep. So I like that.
I agree.
I like Kirk Cousins top 5. We're also gonna top 5 Travis Etienne.
Say it.
Jr.
Say it. Now, he's right now outside of the top 10. So to say he's getting in.
Yeah.
And
top 5ing.
And top 5.
And top 5ing.
There's a lot of big name running backs. Like a lot.
There are.
I think there's actually more now than like pre-drafting, because like half these guys you would draft earlier if you knew what they were going to do. Like Barkley's back, CMC's back, like all these guys. Barkley's on top.
I think Barkley and Taylor are probably going to be 1 and 2 this week.
Yeah,
and then I think Etienne falls 3 to 5.
So much value in there, and they traded James Robinson.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go through your wide receivers.
Wide receiver. I didn't learn last week. That's the important thing. I didn't learn. So I'm going to top 3 CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
Not because I own him.
You do.
I do own him.
You never know. You might trade him. The week
I might
is
trade
early.
him. The week is early. But I'm going to top 3 Lamb because I think Dak is going to be back in full force. They're playing the Lions.
Yeah.
I like I'm sorry. They're playing not the Lions. They're playing the Bears. I like the secondary matchup.
The only thing that worries me here is if they dominate that game and they start to rest some of their guys.
I could see it. I could see a fourth quarter resting.
5 minutes, 8 minutes left.
For sure. Balling that out for a team that like needs a guy late in the game.
Right.
I could definitely see it happening. I'm going to stick with it.
I'm with it.
On volume alone.
Who beats him? Top 3. Who beats him?
Who beats Lamb? Ooh, Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Diop. The 2 high scoring games.
You know what, man? I'm actually going to go Justin Jefferson, and I'm going to go AJ Brown.
Okay.
I think those are the guys that are going to beat him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think those are the guys.
Listen,
And then I think Lamb, and then I think Diop. That's where I'm at on that. I think Robbie Anderson gets a little more involved. I think Ertz kind of gets back to where he was.
I get you.
So
tight ends. Last one to finish up the video.
Pitts.
I love it.
King of the tight ends, baby.
I love it.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Woo!
Number 1.
Kyle Pitts, number 1. I think him and George Kittle are going to be up there.
I'll tell you what. I'll top because you're high on Kittle.
I'm high on Kittle. We'll go 1-2.
We'll go 1-2. Show or place,
Whatever.
either one.
Whatever.
And that's what I'm going with.
Whoever loses has to pay for the fuel jet.
That's fair.
When we go to
gas is high.
Gas, especially those planes, man. It's unbelievable. All right, listen. Any last goodbyes or sayings for week 8? You typically come up with something good.
I do.
Anything for us?
Yeah, I hope that Matt Rule is enjoying house hunting in Wisconsin. He got a couple of days off. He got about a week off. He's still getting paid. I know he sat on his couch for a little bit, probably played some FIFA, ordered some DoorDash, and then he got right on a plane. And he's economical.
Okay.
He's making money at home, so he flew Spirit.
Of course.
Yeah. Landed in Madison, went house hunting immediately. I hope he's having a good time. It's beautiful in the fall.
Listen, beautiful. It's perfect time of year.
Exactly.
Perfect time.
So he's got to get used to it. So, don't buy now. Maybe wait until the new year.
All right, that's fair.
But I hope he's having a good time.
We hope you had a great time with us. Also, thanks for hanging out with us, man. We'll be back week 9 next week. Make sure to comment below your opinions and thoughts. Connor, have a safe flight back, man.
Guten Tag, my guy.
Take care, guys.